Line-by-line explanation of the poem, Remembrance by Emily Brontë.
Line 1, Cold in the earth, and the deep snow piled above thee. In this opening line, Emily Brontë uses stark and evocative imagery to convey the coldness and finality of death. The cold in the earth reflects the physical state of the beloved's resting place, emphasizing the harsh and unfeeling nature of the grave. The deep snow piled above them adds a layer of desolation and suggests a sense of stillness and permanence. This imagery sets a mournful and reflective tone, establishing the poem's emotional weight and theme of loss. Line 2, Far, far removed, cold in the dreary grave. This line reinforces the distance between the speaker and their deceased beloved. The repetition of far emphasizes the physical and emotional separation that death creates. The description of the grave as dreary highlights the bleak and sorrowful nature of the speaker's loss, reinforcing the sense of abandonment and finality. The line deepens the poem's somber mood, emphasizing the emotional distance and desolation felt by the speaker. Line 3, Have I forgot, my only love, to love thee? Here, the speaker reflects on whether they have neglected to continue loving their beloved. The use of my only love reveals the depth of their affection and commitment. The question suggests a sense of guilt or concern, as if the speaker fears that time or new experiences might have led them to forget their past love. This introspection adds a layer of personal conflict and emotional depth to the poem. Line 4, Severed at last by time's all-severing wave? The metaphor of time's all-severing wave represents the relentless passage of time that erodes and separates. The use of severed conveys the finality of the separation caused by time. This metaphor emphasizes how time continuously affects and distances individuals from their past, underscoring the theme of the inevitable and unrelenting nature of change and loss. Line 5, Now, when alone, do my thoughts no longer hover? In this line, the speaker reflects on their current state of solitude. The phrase when alone highlights their isolation, and the idea of thoughts no longer hover suggests a shift in their emotional focus. It implies that the speaker's memories of the beloved are not as present or consuming as they once were, indicating a change in their process of mourning and remembrance. Line 6, Over the mountains, on that northern shore. The geographical imagery in this line provides a specific setting for the beloved's resting place. The northern shore evokes a cold, possibly remote, location, enhancing the sense of isolation and permanence. The mention of mountains and northern shore suggests a landscape that is both physically and emotionally distant, reinforcing the separation between the speaker and the beloved. Line 7. Resting their wings where heath and fern leaves cover. Here, Brontë uses nature imagery to describe the beloved's resting place. The phrase resting their wings suggests a peaceful and natural burial site, surrounded by heath and fern leaves. This imagery implies that the beloved's resting place is serene and beautiful, contrasting with the coldness and desolation described earlier. It adds a layer of tranquility to the depiction of death. Line 8, Thy noble heart forever, evermore. The speaker questions whether the beloved's noble heart remains honored and revered in their memory. The repetition of forever, evermore emphasizes the eternal nature of the beloved's impact on the speaker's life. This line underscores the enduring love and the permanence of the beloved's significance, even as time continues to pass. Line 9, Cold in the earth, and 15 wild Decembers. The repetition of cold in the earth reinforces the unchanging nature of the beloved's resting place. The mention of 15 wild Decembers indicates the passage of 15 years, marked by harsh winters and the cyclical nature of time. This line emphasizes the length of time that has passed since the beloved's death and the persistence of coldness and separation. Line 10, From those brown hills, have melted into spring. In this line, Brontë contrasts the harsh winter with the arrival of spring, symbolizing the passage of time and the cycle of renewal. The transition from brown hills to spring represents the natural progression of seasons in life, suggesting that even though time brings change, it also brings new beginnings and growth. Line 11, faithful, indeed, is the spirit that remembers. This line celebrates the faithfulness of the spirit that continues to remember the beloved despite the passage of time. It highlights the enduring nature of true love and memory, suggesting that the act of remembrance is a testament to the strength of the speaker's affection. Line 12, after such years of change and suffering. Here, the speaker acknowledges the significant years of change and suffering that have passed. This recognition underscores the endurance required to maintain remembrance and the ongoing impact of loss and hardship on the speaker's life. Line 13, sweet love of youth, forgive if I forget thee. The speaker seeks forgiveness from their sweet love of youth for any perceived forgetfulness. This line conveys a sense of regret and a desire for reconciliation with the past love, indicating that the speaker values their youthful love deeply and feels remorseful about any perceived lapse in their affection. Line 14. While the world's tide is bearing me along. The metaphor of the world's tide suggests that the speaker is being carried along by the currents of life and external circumstances. This imagery highlights the influence of the world on the speaker's thoughts and feelings, indicating that new experiences and desires are shaping their current state. Line 15, other desires and other hopes beset me. The speaker acknowledges the presence of new desires and hopes that occupy their mind. This suggests a shift in focus from past love to present aspirations, indicating a conflict between old affections and new ambitions. Line 16, hopes which obscure but cannot do thee wrong. This line reflects that while new hopes may obscure or overshadow the memory of the beloved, they cannot diminish the beloved's significance or wrong them. The speaker affirms that, despite the presence of new desires, the past love remains revered and unblemished. Line 17, no later light has lightened up my heaven. The speaker states that no new joy or light has filled their life as the beloved once did. This line emphasizes the unique and irreplaceable nature of the beloved's presence, suggesting that nothing has since matched the happiness they provided. Line 18, no second morn has ever shone for me. The phrase second morn suggests that no subsequent experiences have brought the same joy or fulfillment as the beloved did. This line reinforces the idea that the beloved's presence was singular and unmatched in its impact on the speaker's life. Line 19, all my life's bliss from thy dear life was given. The speaker reflects that all their past happiness came from the beloved. This line underscores the extent to which the speaker's joy was dependent on their past love, highlighting the profound impact the beloved had on their life. Line 20, all my life's bliss is in the grave with thee. Here, the speaker states that all their past happiness is now buried with the beloved. This line highlights the emotional finality of the loss, suggesting that the speaker's bliss is forever entwined with the beloved's memory and remains in the grave. Line 21, but, when the days of golden dreams had perished. The speaker reflects on the end of golden dreams and idealistic joy. This line marks a transition from a time of happiness to a period of reflection and mourning, indicating the end of an era of youthful dreams. Line 22, and even despair was powerless to destroy. The speaker acknowledges that even deep despair was insufficient to completely destroy their sense of existence. This line suggests resilience and the ability to cope with profound grief despite the overwhelming nature of despair. Line 23. Then did I learn how existence could be cherished. The speaker reflects on learning to value life and find meaning despite the absence of joy. This line indicates personal growth and the ability to cherish existence through suffering and change. Line 24, strengthened and fed without the aid of joy. The speaker describes how they have found strength and sustenance without relying on joy. This line emphasizes adaptation and resilience, showing that the speaker has learned to sustain themselves emotionally despite the lack of happiness. Line 25, then did I check the tears of useless passion. The speaker describes their effort to control tears and emotions that seemed unproductive. This line reflects a conscious effort to manage grief and avoid indulgence in overwhelming sorrow. Line 26, weaned my young soul from yearning after thine. The speaker refers to the process of detaching their soul from longing for the beloved. This indicates a maturation and moving on from youthful desires, suggesting a shift towards emotional growth and acceptance. Line 27, sternly denied its burning wish to hasten. The speaker describes a firm denial of the desire to join the beloved in death. This line highlights the speaker's self-control and refusal to succumb to despair, indicating a strong sense of purpose and resilience. Line 28, down to that tomb already more than mine. The speaker refers to the tomb as having metaphorically become their own, indicating acceptance of the finality of death. This line reflects the speaker's acknowledgement of the beloved's place in their life and the finality of their loss. Line 29, and, even yet, I dare not let it languish. The speaker expresses a reluctance to let the memory of the beloved fade. This line indicates a desire to preserve the remembrance of the beloved despite the pain, reflecting the significance of their memory. Line 30, dare not indulge in memory's rapturous pain. The speaker describes avoiding indulgence in the intense emotional pain associated with memories of the beloved. This line suggests a balance between cherishing the memory and avoiding overwhelming grief. Line 31, once drinking deep of that divinest anguish. The speaker reflects on having experienced profound and divine anguish in the past. This line suggests that the intensity of the past suffering had a significant impact on the speaker's emotional state. Line 32, how could I seek the empty world again? The final line questions how the speaker could find joy or fulfillment in a world that seems empty compared to the deep emotional experiences of the past. It emphasizes the incomparable nature of past love and suffering, highlighting the enduring impact of the beloved's memory. Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.